goddamn clip. Hey guys, I'm Sai and welcome to Ace Podcast Nation. On the channel, we got all sorts of podcasts, interviews, series, so many different subjects, MMA, wrestling, football, mental health, conspiracy theories, and a whole lot more, including our exclusive series, My Story, and Unscripted and Uncensored. You can get some of the biggest names in combat sports, some of the biggest names in football, actors, bands, and all sorts of people. Today, we are talking wrestling. It's going to be a slightly shorter show because we've got real life stuff going on. So we're going to have a nice little short half hour or so. We're going to talk NXT and then we're going to preview Double or Nothing. It's going to be a nice short one for you guys. The green screen is back, so I'm looking particularly shiny on the face, but I felt like changing it up a little bit now that I've got a decent computer. But joining me as usual to talk the graps, the pro wrestling, is Post Wrestling's writer and interviewer and YouTuber extraordinaire with his exceptional interviews with wrestling talent and personalities. It is Mr. Andrew Thompson. Welcome, my friend. How are you?
Always good to do a podcast. So this is going to be the most sarcastic podcast that we do, the funniest podcast that we do, because I am not in a good mood. I'm not having a good morning. So we are going to have a funny podcast today, and I'm going to do my best to be as witty as possible, but in a good way.
It's going to be like the reverse of normal. So normally I'm the one that's in like a bad mood and grumpy and like sarcastic. But today we are going to reverse roles. I should have turned my camera off so I could have been you for the day. We had you back for one week. Funny. We had you back for 1 week. We saw what you looked like, and then you disappeared again. So apart from your terrible morning this morning, how was your week been?
It was going good, man. Until today.
Then it all went tits up. It all went to pieces.
That's how it is sometimes, man. It is what it is.
What can you do?
Not a damn thing.
Indeed. So I just wanted to make a quick mention. We were going to pay a longer sort of tribute, and we were going to talk about Shad Gaspard, and we were going to talk about the dark side of the ring. We still will.
No, we could definitely do that. We could definitely do that for sure.
But it won't be as long as we were probably going to. And also, I just wanted to say a little message to the wrestling websites of the world. If you use someone's quotes, then credit them, you massive twats. Thank you. Thank you. If you use someone else's hard work, don't pass it off as your own, because that is like a dick move. And you know who you are. There's lots of you. You are not a super king of bros. Okay. Oh, I'm really hot. Hot stuff. So yeah, unfortunately, we had some bad news this week with Shad Gaspard was tragically killed, rescuing his son by all accounts. From what I know, I'm sure you know a bit more about it than me. But like everything which I've read ever about this dude is just that he is just like a great man. Everything, like I think a couple of years ago, he like stopped a robbery with like someone had a gun and he like disarmed them or he took them down or something. I remember seeing the video at the time. He does a lot of charity work. He's really successful outside of wrestling. I think he's been a bodyguard for Mike Tyson and a few other different celebrities and stuff. The dude is just like works hard, was successful, was super charismatic, super entertaining, and by all accounts, genuinely good guy who saved his 10-year-old son,
Mm-hmm.
but sadly sacrificed himself doing it. Not the first time that he had been a hero as well. It's just sad, man, because like, you know, even if he wasn't like a wrestling personality or a well-known personality, it's still super sad. It's still like he's a father, a husband that's been ripped away from his loved ones, and that just sucks massively. And like the fact that he is such a good person kind of makes it, I don't know, it just makes it suck that bit extra for me.
Yeah, there was a lot of people that was like telling a lot of stories about Shad, and like from all accounts, it just seems like everybody was just like he's like a real good dude, and like even if you didn't know him, like he would act like he knew you, like when in person, of course, like and always like friendly and very like conversive and stuff like that. Just looking to have a good time. There was never no negative energy for somebody to be, you know, his size and to be as imposing as he was. Like he was never like aggressive towards anybody, and that's, you know, that's kind of crazy. And
And like you
yeah, the
never heard
way
any bad stories like about his behavior or anything
nah,
like that. Even when
nah.
like when he was in WWE, they when they got fired and they crime time once, and even that was like, I believe it was some sort of misunderstanding from I think it was that they did a move on the referee which wasn't scheduled or something, and they brought him back quite quickly after that. But like they were so entertaining. I couldn't believe that they didn't have a run with the tag team titles. I did not know that, and I couldn't. I was shocked when I found that out.
Yeah, I remember when they were when they were like at that peak, him and JTG. Like I felt like they really should have won the tag team title. Like it was all like all the pieces were there for it to happen. I don't know why it did happen, but uh Shad was like he was a really intelligent dude.
Yeah, man.
Like it was this podcast that he did. I believe it was with the Jobber Tears podcast. And like I highly recommend that to anybody, like just to see how like the insight that he has into wrestling and like what he knows. Like he was talking about how like he would like make sure that he got paid correctly by WWE by like calculating the amount of like he would go to the attendance people and make sure that he got the right amount of attendance in the gate. And then like he would like do some type of math to try to make sure that he was getting paid the right amount of money. And he was like, it was at one point, I think it was John Laurinaitis, like he was trying to figure out why Shad kept doing that. Like I curious as to how he knew, you know what I'm saying, like how how to properly calculate you like how much he was supposed to get paid. But like it just let you know he was a real smart dude. He had a lot of funny stories. So yeah, and then you know the way he went out, like I actually wrote in my news up that was like you gotta be a different type of person, like in those like life or death situations. You like think about somebody else first, and even though like you would think any parent would be like, you know, save my kid first, but like just people in general, like you would think like you got to be a different type of person to be like in a legit life or death situation. You like let me think about somebody else. So you know it's real messed up just to see him go, and I feel bad for his family and you know JTG as well. So I know that sucks.
Yeah, definitely, mate. I'll link that podcast, the Jobber Tears podcast with Shad Gaspard underneath in the description. I just brought it up on my screen, so I'll to remind me, and I'll knock that in the description because I want people to go watch it and relive some of the cool memories of him. Like for me, I enjoyed both runs in WWE a lot. Like in the first run, they were more kind of heelish. Um, they they did some stuff with Juice and Domino and all this sort of stuff, and they were doing the money yeah thing, which got over big time. But when they returned, they worked with some really talented tag teams like Cade and Murdoch. They were like backing up John Cena against JBL, and that's when I thought that they really were going to go somewhere, because they had the faction name and everything. They were going to be called CTC, which was Crime Time C Nation. Apparently they had merch made up and like they was good to go. And then all of a sudden they pulled the plug on it, because they did a segment where they vandalized JBL's limo, and then they all kind of posed. And at a house show, then a couple of days later, John Cena confirmed it, that they were a team or whatever. And then for some reason they pulled it. And I think that was the moment which they probably would have gone on and really become like the next level, being associated with John Cena. But they worked with Legacy, obviously Ted DiBiase and Cody Rhodes. And they worked with Shelton Benjamin, Charlie Haas, John Morrison, and the Hart Dynasty. Jericho and Big Show as a tag team. Jericho. Like they had some real cool tag teams to work with. I didn't remember, should I say, that in 2010 they turned Shad Gaspard heel, and he attacked JTG. I didn't remember that. I never remembered them being apart. So they obviously, but I knew that Shad had left and JTG had stayed for a while.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize that they had done a whole heel turn. But I don't think they did a great deal with him as a heel.
No, it was like generic as hell. Like, the big guy, of course, has to turn on the little guy. Like it was like, it was like, I don't know. It didn't work. I felt like Crime Time could have won the tag titles, and I feel like they could have been brought back for like one of those reunion shows. I think people would have been crazy for them. Like, can you imagine Shad and JTG showing up at like the Raw reunion or something like that? And like they went crazy for Shad and JTG. And the thing is, people, they still wrestle in the independent scene, like together.
Well, I gotta say, obviously before this tragically happened, I did expect to see them
like come back to WWE. Right,
exactly,
like in something.
Or even like, AEW maybe, right. Because they were good, they were decent in the ring as well. They weren't just a gimmick. Like,
so I lie to you now. Like, if you get a chance, go check out some of the stuff they recently did on the independents. They can still go. Like they can still go. And JTG got big as hell too. I mean, like swole. Like
yeah, big. I saw a TikTok video. The last video they filmed together. JTG posted it earlier, and like. JTG
he got swole, man.
Big. But yeah, it just sucks, mate.
Yeah, it's a messed up situation, man. And good on of course, good on WWE for honoring him, and I think they gonna do like a special something tonight. But good on AEW too for saying some nice words about Shad for somebody that never even worked for or was associated with them. So
Yeah, definitely, mate. I really hope that they play a lot of kind of like clips of Crime Time and Shad tonight. I really hope they like
go all out.
I would rather see 60% of the show be around that and paying tribute to him, because he was such an entertaining dude. I just hope they don't play the clip which I saw on YouTube the other day, which was him and JTG talking to Eugene. Because those Eugene clips just make me cringe. Nothing which Crime Time really did, but just the whole Eugene gimmick, like that was in real poor taste, I gotta say.
Like, you ever realize how like back then we really didn't think like how no, I'm just saying like how messed up it was. But like when you look back on it, you realize like what the hell were they thinking? Like they really had like a character like that was like mentally challenged.
Yeah, man.
And they like
good.
They
would mock him, and they would like do all this sort of like terrible stuff. I don't know, man. It was just not good. Yeah, but there's loads of really good stuff that they could do. Hopefully, it will culminate with that Cena kind of segment, because that was a real good segment as well. But they did loads of good stuff in WWE, so they've got lots of clips which they can play. So I hope they really do. And like, I want to say as well, he did some good television roles. He had a
TV pilot in the works too.
Yeah, they had Get Hard, the game, From Dusk Till Dawn, the series, which you might be too young to remember the original film of Dusk Till Dawn, but I'm not, and it was one of Quentin Tarantino's quality films. And he's written he co-created a graphic novel. He did the motion capture, like I show my age again, a game called God of War, which apparently is like a massive game. He did the motion capture for the main character of that. Like he was a super successful dude. Yeah, just fucking sucks. Let's be honest.
And then we go right into something else that sucks.
Oh, man, like I know we said we're going to be doing a quick show, and we are going to do, like, it is only going to be about 40 minutes long, but I do want to touch on Owen Hart and Dark Side of the Ring. I thought it was a fantastic show from a quality of the documentary and the way they did it. I'm going to ask you a question about it in a minute, which I want to know the answer to, but just talking about the show generally, I thought it was very well done. It was real interesting, and I'm glad that it brought back to the forefront of everyone's minds just how negligent the WWE was. Like that clip is just the fact that was even contemplated using. Like, it would be a disgrace if they had used that clip and said, or someone had suggested using that clip, and everyone in the room had said, get out of here. You can't use that. It's this, it's for sailboats and it releases on 6 pounds of pressure. You cannot use that.
Bro,
like, it would have been disgraceful for someone to suggest it, but they not only suggested it, they used it to save money when they had used a reputable, one of the top rigging firms previously. And now that, because that rigging firm had said, we can't do this the way you want it because it's not safe, they went and not only got someone else to do it, but got like a shittier version of the company to do it.
Bro, the fact that like when I saw when she showed the actual clip that they used to hold,
you're infuriated.
Yes, immediately, because it's stupid. Like anybody that's in production, you don't even have to be in production. That's just common sense. Like, do you really think that little baby ass clip was going to hold a 200-pound man? Like, it's just
man.
It's no way. Like, it doesn't make any sense. And then, like, I'm like, how does like common sense not kick in that moment? Like, well, this clip is only meant the clip was meant to release on load, meaning anything that is heavy. It don't even have to be a human. It could be just, you put attach a laptop to that thing and it will release because it's too heavy.
6 pounds of pressure, they said.
6 pounds of pressure, and that is
so
it.
What's
and that thing,
6 pounds? Think of something which weighs 6 pounds, like a laptop, maybe. You're probably right about a laptop, maybe.
A laptop, yeah.
And they strapped it.
And they strapped
father and a husband,
200-pound grown man onto that clip. I was like, Jesus Christ. And then one of the other worst parts was when JR was trying to figure out what happened, and Kevin Dunn said, he's dead and you're on in 9-8. I was like, what?
Motherfuckers. They're bad, man. Like, it frustrates me because there's no regard for the human. Like, not just Owen Hart, but like no regard for the human of like JR. And I understand that they were live, so they had to like think on their feet, and they, there wasn't time to explain it. But there's a way to do it. There's a way to say, like, tell him that he's passed away, and quickly kind of say, look, you're going to have to announce it, and like, don't just go, like, don't say it like that. Don't treat it like it's just another day at the office.
And then they kept going with the show.
Yeah,
that's the crazy thing. You go on with.
Well, what the police doing? Why were the police allowing that to go? Why were they letting the show go on?
That's the like absurd thing that I really never understand. I'm saying Undertaker doing all this media. I want to see him. I want to see somebody ask him about Over the Edge 99. That's what I really want to see.
No one will, though, because they don't want to lose. No one wants to lose their shot because WWE talent is so difficult to get an interview with. No one wants to, and I understand that, because if you're in a position like I know a couple of guys who are in a position where they can interview WWE guys. I understand why they don't want to rock the boat, because they don't want to
mess up that opportunity.
yeah, man.
No, that
'Cause
makes
that's
sense.
big. It's big, but like it would be nice. Like, so I'm just going to very briefly kind of use this as an example. So like we've had some footballers and ex-footballers, mainly ex-footballers, come on our show. And the reason people seem to like it is because we don't ask the normal questions. We talk about other stuff. Ask them maybe sometimes some stuff which is a bit not uncomfortable, but like that other people wouldn't ask. And people like that, and they like the fact that it's live and they can ask questions about anything. And we had a current footballer on the other day called Stuart Downing, who ended up speaking about stuff, he wanted to talk about it. We didn't bring it up, but speaking about stuff that perhaps he wouldn't have spoken about otherwise. But I just don't think, from a WWE as a company point of view, that they would let that fly, if that makes sense. It's like wrestling's completely different. They are completely different. But there's other companies, I'm sure you'll agree, like around which just as finicky about finicky, what a word. But just as fussy about like only ask this or only ask about this event. Don't ask about previous shows.
I know.
I know you know. But I didn't want to out you on, not out you, but out them on the podcast. But yeah, people are funny. But yeah, you're right. Asking the Undertaker would be a good way, wouldn't it, to see what the thinking was.
Not even just Undertaker, Austin, like anybody who was
just ask someone who's not with there anymore,
who was there, and somebody who got stroke. Like,
do you know what? Do you know what's messed up about it? Other than the obvious, like the death and the carrying on of the show, is like at that point in time they didn't change the ring mat and stuff like they do now. They change the mat, don't they? But and in COVID now with the virus and stuff, they change the mat every match and all this sort of stuff, obviously. But this guy's peer, Jeff Jarrett, was on Next, one of Owen Hart's best friends, like real life best friend, and he's wrestling a match with Owen Hart's blood still on the mat.
Yeah.
Like, I can't imagine the trauma, how traumatic that must have been. That must have messed up Jeff Jarrett for afterwards for years. That would.
Yeah, I've honestly never heard Jeff Jarrett speak about it in an interview, like ever. Like I don't think I've ever heard him like speak about like in depth. Like I feel like he's like spoke about like Owen, like he spoke about Owen, but like never about like you know what I'm saying, like
impact of it and stuff, like on his mental health and on him. Yeah, it's messed up, man, and I do feel like the police should have stepped in and said, "Look, you're gonna have to stop the show." And then Vince. I was listening to Dave Meltzer's podcast about it yesterday, where him and Brian were talking about it, and he said like he kind of understood where they like from their thinking of why the show went on and all this sort of stuff. They thought that it might cause a riot and all this stuff. And not being funny, even as rowdy as fans were back in the Attitude Era, if you tell them someone's died, they're not gonna. You might get the odd idiot, but like it's not going to be like the whole audience is going to turn, is it? Do you know what I mean? Like people are quite understanding, but someone died. But one point he did make is that he said at the time he was infuriated by the press conference the next day, where Vince didn't kind of say, "Oh, look, maybe we should have finished the show, but maybe we shouldn't have finished the show, but we're not trained for this. It was an on-the-fly decision, and we just kind of like made the decision, in the moment. Maybe looking back, it was not the right decision, but he kind of doubled down on it. And for me, the minute they started trying to portray Martha Hart as the villain and suing her and all this sort of stuff, that was when I lost any kind of sympathy I had for them as a company. whatsoever. Like, obviously at the time back then, I didn't know what I know now about the clip and about them cutting corners and all that sort of stuff. But like at the time, initially I felt sorry for everyone. I felt, they'd lost a colleague. It was a tragic accident, etc. And then when I found out that they were suing his widow and, they were doing their best to paint her as like this, she's stopping him from going into the Hall of Fame. And like, don't you think when they interviewed her and they interviewed his children, they made people like I think it was Mark Henry said he made like an appeal to Martha Hart saying, let Owen Hart go in the Hall of Fame for Oj, which is Owen Hart's son.
And Oj said, "Nah, I'm good."
Yeah, that felt to me like, when I looking back in hindsight, like that felt a bit like Mark Henry was speaking out of place, because he was kind of, I know he didn't mean to, and I know his what's the word? Like his reasons for saying it were, they were genuine reasons. But like, if his kids don't want him in there, then that's it. Like, I do wonder whether if WWE came and said, right, we won't, we will not make any money from it. Every single penny which is made from the Hall of Fame that year goes to the Owen Hart Foundation, whether they would let them do it. But I don't think it's ever going to happen. I got to be honest, which is sad.
No, because I mean, she said it during the documentary, and she said it during, in plenty of interviews that she did on the lead up to it. She was just like, she's not gonna let them like
make
have
money
that, not even make money, but like just have that honor of like having him in their Hall of Fame after they were negligent in his death.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, that's like, I agree with her. Like, why would you want him in the company's Hall of Fame that played like such a big role in him dying? Because like, when you like, they had just the biggest part is him passing away as the dude who hooked the clip up to him, because they let it happen. Like, that's like,
and I found out
that's
earlier,
like unforgivable.
Yeah, it's messed up. I found out earlier that WWE paid Martha $18 million, and then they went and sued the rigging company who had insurance. So like they went and sued, so they weren't in any worse position financially. So I feel like they didn't lose. They didn't lose out in terms of like, I feel like they didn't learn their lesson. They still conduct themselves in a not very pleasant way. They still tried to sue the widow of the person who died because of them. It's just not a very nice situation. Do you think? Just lastly on this, do you think the documentary was hurt at all by not having Brett appear?
No, I mean, because I feel like Brett has openly spoken about, everything that he has in the past, but I think it would have been a nice touch to have him in there, just to have his thought. I know him and Martha Hart don't have like the nicest relationship, so I mean, but I feel like that's what makes these documentaries good, is that you have people on both sides of the spectrum that don't necessarily agree. Like, even in the Benoit documentary, I felt like it wouldn't have been as good had they not had that journalist in there who wrote the book about Benoit, killing Nancy and Daniel. Like, it wouldn't have been the same. You got to have those contrasting sides and people in there that don't agree in order for the documentary to be complete. You can't just tell one side of the story. But I mean, but with the Owen thing, like, it's just like one of those things. Like, there is no other side to the story. Like, this is her side is the only side. Like, it's like
the truth and the facts is the only side. I thought Jim Cornette was absolutely fantastic in it, which I don't say very often. He good things about him, but he undid any goodwill by being a complete tosser this week.
You're still in my lines, man.
Sorry, bro, but he like I got to say, Seth Rollins' response to what Jim Cornette said about Becky falling pregnant and stuff was I was impressed by his response, because I'm not sure that I would have been able to be so restrained if it was me. Do you know, like, just that's my fiance and my unborn child. I don't get it. I don't understand why people think they have a opinion on what a woman or what people do with their private life. It makes no sense to me.
On the Seth Rollins thing, as far as his response and the way he the way he responded to Cornette, I don't know. I wasn't really a fan of some particular comments that he added, just because he was like, even though people already lost respect for Jim Cornette, he always liked Cornette, essentially. So basically what you telling me is everything else that he said, the racist stuff that he said, like that's all good, but until it affects you personally, then that's when you want to draw the line. You see what I'm saying? Like that's the shit.
Yeah, there's a bit
like, it's like, so you telling me he can say all the racist stuff he can, all the little on the fence stuff, all the derogatory comments, but only when he say something that offends you, that's when you want to cut him off and quote unquote end his mindset. Like that's people.
That's the problem with people overall, isn't it? Though
people let you know how they are just through like small cracks in their words, like just like little stuff like that. So I was like, well, like when I first heard it, like the first part of what he said, I was like, okay, he made a good point. And then he went into the whole, I thought me and Jim Cornette were cool. I was holding out hope for him, and because me and him go a long way back. So I'm telling you. So basically, what you're saying is everything he said up to that point was cool, but until he said something that got something to do with you, like that's okay. So.
Yeah, I think that's one of my problems with people of the world overall, is that they don't care about stuff unless it affects them directly. And I think that's a massive issue with the world on the whole, is that people don't care unless it affects them. They just ignore stuff, and then maybe if less people did that, maybe the world would be a better place.
That coffee just had sounded like when the light shut off during the Fiend entrance.
Yeah, the Fiend's coming. I got that clip lined up as well. It's always in my overlay box. That clip I made of the Fiend, so I could drop it straight away. Okay, so finish off then, my friend. We're going to talk a bit of NXT in your house, and then we'll do our predictions for Double or Nothing. NXT took a very good show. I gotta say, both these shows have been amazing. The last probably 2 months have been real good.
Both building to some good shows.
I wish it makes me sad that their ratings are both quite low, because I think they deserve better, because they're by far better than Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah, oh yeah, by a mile.
So we had Tommaso Ciampa and Karrion Kross announced, which was interesting that they went there so quick. I wasn't sure they were going to go there straight away, but they've gone there. I think Mr. Kross is getting the rocket pack, isn't he?
Oh yeah, like he's like I know me and you talked about it off. Yeah, I give him about a month, 2 months before he has some title, whether it's the North American title or the NXT title. I definitely think it's gonna happen, because today, if they're about to put him over Ciampa, then that's a big deal. And I feel like the only way to go from there is to probably put a title on him. Like maybe he comes at the Keith Lee next. Maybe Keith Lee gets so distracted with Johnny Gargano, he just like loses sight of the North American title. Then Kross slips in and takes the title off him, and that's a big way to make somebody a legit deal right out of the gate.
Well, the thing is, like we discussed off air, but I think we both think that Velveteen Dream is probably going to be off TV for a while. I know he came back Wednesday, but we both think he's going to go off TV for a little bit. So it's like you need someone to step in at the top of the card. So they're building. I was going to say Samuel Shaw then. they're building Dexter Lumis well. I think his character works very good. They're building, they've made Killer Cross super strong. If he beats Ciampa in your house as well, he's there. Keith Lee's already been built up pretty well. He doesn't lose very often either, which is a good thing. So there's a few guys there. The women's division, I got to say, I really want Charlotte Flair to drop the NXT title so we can get back to just having that stacked women's division.
They announced today that Charlotte's defending the NXT women's title in your house against Rhea and Io in a 3-way. So
yeah, I think as expected, isn't it? Like after that, after she interfered and she came out.
I can't call that. I really don't know who's gonna win. Like it seems like anybody can win. Like they can always go back to Rhea and give her a win against Charlotte, or they can go Io, or they can give it back to Charlotte. Like I kind of like that though. Like it's like kind of unpredictable because you just really don't know like who they're gonna go with because everybody in that match kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I'd like to see them give it to Io and give her a run, but I've got a feeling they might give Rhea a win back because people weren't happy with the fact that she lost. So I could see them giving her the title back. And I think the fact that now they're doing this brand crossover thing again, that they're probably going to get Charlotte off NXT TV for a while. And so because she's going to be on Raw and SmackDown. So, yeah. What other matches do you think they'll add to this?
Probably Keith Lee versus Gargano, and for the North American title. Maybe Damian Priest versus Finn Balor. I think that's gonna be.
Do you think they'll do a tag team match between Gargano and?
No, I think they're gonna save that for like a later. No, I don't even think they do that. I think they probably gonna save that for like NXT TV, the Keith Lee, Mia Yim versus Gargano LeRae, and I think Lee is going to beat Gargano at Takeover, and then the Garganos are gonna get their win back when they do the mixed tag, and Candice is gonna pin Mia.
So I wonder whether they'll do a singles match of Candice versus Mia Yim as well at Takeover in your house.
Yeah, that's gonna be it's gonna be interesting. I think. I don't know because Takeover's like 5 matches on the card, so we got the Ciampa versus Cross. We got probably gonna have we got the NXT Women's Title match. Probably gonna have Keith Lee versus Gargano. Probably gonna have Damian Priest versus Finn Balor, and then left on the card,
you'll probably have Dexter Lumis versus Adam Cole
for the NXT Championship. That'd be interesting. Or maybe they do. But yeah, I mean, maybe they do the final write-off at Takeover when they have
and do a tag match.
Not like Dream versus Cole, and then that'd be the final write-off for Dream for however long, and then like the NXT tag team title is kind of up in the air. They don't really have like a tag team division right now. Like it's like nobody there.
Do you know what would be an interesting way to write Dream off would be as if they said if Adam Cole kind of manipulated William Regal somehow into saying #1 contender match between Dexter Lumis and Velveteen Dream, because Dexter Lumis has got that serial killer vibe. That would be quite a good, like a big angle for him to further his character and write off the Velveteen Dream. But
I'm kind of starting to get into the
Dexter Lumis,
the character, because it's I don't know. Like at first I didn't like it, but like now it's starting to click.
When he was stroking Roderick Strong's head as he just laid in his waist, I thought it was real creepy. Like, but I think that could be good. But then I think WWE as a company quite likes like the odd couple, like storylines and tag teams, and obviously Dexter and Velveteen Dream kind of fall into that a bit. So I don't know if they'll do a match between the two. So yeah, some interesting stuff. Okay, so tomorrow as we record this, we have Double or Nothing. It's looking like a good show. AEW Dynamite was pretty good this week. We saw the return of the Young Bucks and also Hangman Page. So didn't Hangman Page and Matt Jackson make up? I thought I thought they made up, not
no,
like proper made up, but like they kind of like had a little nod and a maybe I just dreamt it.
yeah, you dreamt it. Drinking too much Red Bull. That's what it is.
Yeah. Oof. So, what match are you looking forward to the most out of this?
Casino ladder match.
Yeah, that's gonna be insane. Who do you think?
Out of everybody that's in it. Let me look at you got the competitors.
Yeah, I got
up.
it. So it's Darby Allin, Colt Cabana, Orange Cassidy, Ray Phoenix, Scorpio Sky, Kip Sabian, Frankie Kazarian, Luchasaurus, and TBA. Who do we think TBA could be?
Gulak.
Do you think? I think it's going to be Brian Cage.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Oh yeah, I forgot about Brian Cage. He did sign with AEW.
And because he's so different to everything they've got, if he comes in
and everybody
wins,
kind of forgot about him too.
Yeah, if he comes in and wins that ladder match via like a funky high risk move, and he gets like a title shot right out the gate, he's bigger than everyone. I think that could cement him as like a real good good prospect for them. But it could be Drew Gulak, could be someone else, could be
that Brian Cage one seems more likely. Like I'm in for Brian Cage. Like if Brian Cage isn't there, he's got to win.
Got to win.
But like the crazy thing, they have a that's for the casino is for the AEW World Title. They have a battle royal next week, for the to determine the challenger for the TNT title, and that person is going to get the title match on June 3rd. There's the following week. So yeah,
it's quite clever to do a TBA though, because like you've got all these guys who've just been released by WWE, so that's going to build like a little bit of a It could do. Is it going to be Rusev? Maybe that would be good. So here's a question for you: if you were Brian Cage and they were going to ask you to do like a massive moonsault off the ladder on Saturday night, and you just watched Dynamite and saw all these guys not catching people from dives,
bro, they are not going to catch. Bro, I mean, they probably will, but like, bro, he too big. Like I remember
but just generally, like that they weren't on point with their catching.
Yeah, but I remember this is like I think it was I forgot what takeover it was when Drew McIntyre faced Bobby Roode, and Bobby Roode did an interview like shortly after, and he talked about how when McIntyre would like did the top rope like flip, did the flip over the top, and Bobby was like basically like Drew's like big as hell. So you see this like it's easy in your mind to say, oh yeah, I'm gonna catch this dude, but like when you see this 6'5", 200-some pound dude flying doing a flip, you like I'm gonna pass on the catch.
Yeah, but the Ray Phoenix one in particular, I thought was real scary.
Yeah, that was rough. That was a rough landing.
Because
luckily they could have caught him, man. Better than that.
Luckily, as he came down, he managed to turn his body enough that he landed on his like back and shoulders. But like Jesus, if he had been a bit slower rotating his body around, like he would have just landed on his head, and could have been some real. I think I read that he's all right, but it could have been really serious, it wasn't great. I felt like they should have caught him really, and they didn't. And then when Colt Cabana came in, which was insane, Ray Phoenix was laid on the floor being checked on by the ref, and then Colt Cabana comes in and does a moonsault to the outside on all of them in the same place and lands on Ray, like next to Ray Phoenix. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, what if he's got a broken neck or something and you don't want to move him and you're doing a moonsault like right next to him? But they should have caught him, all of them. They should have adjusted to make sure, like, to me, I know you want to make it look real, but to me, the most important thing is catching the people who are doing the dives. So if that means that you've got to adjust really quickly to move like a couple of steps forward and catch them, that's what you've got to do. That's better than someone getting seriously hurt because you wanted it to look real, and you thought it didn't look real by going to catch him. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go through the card then to finish off. We've got Dustin Rhodes versus Sean Spears. Who you got?
Boo. this I'm not necessarily excited for this match at all, but
I did enjoy the Sean Spears news segment though on Wednesday.
I feel
thought that
like
was pretty good.
this might be a way to like get some more, get some steam under Sean Spears. He lost to Cody in the TNT tournament, so this might be a way for him to get us like, a little bit of revenge by beating the brother.
Yeah. And then we've got the tag team match between Private Party and
That's on
the
the buy-in,
best
right?
friend. I think so.
Yeah, it's on the buy-in, and the winner gets the
Tag team title shot. Yeah.
tag team title shot. Shit, I think they. I mean, you could go either way, honestly. I feel like either one of these teams are probably going to end up beating Hangman and Kenny Omega for the tag titles. So, I mean, if I had it personally, I'd say Private Party, but I mean, I'm not going to be mad at Best Friends either. Like, I feel like you really can't. I feel like Best Friends have more steam because they've been on TV a lot more. So,
yeah,
I mean,
Private Party. I think if they'd been on TV
more,
yeah,
for sure.
I would go with them. But I think Best Friends have been
they've been on TV
consistently every week, haven't they? So, yeah. Next
but yeah,
up,
I think Best Friends gonna win.
Yeah, I think they will as well. Next up, we got Matt Hardy, Adam Page, and the Elite versus the Inner Circle in a
Stadium
Stampede.
I'm interested to see how this match gonna play out because they really gonna be inside the Jaguars football stadium.
Yeah,
like while this match is happening. So I'm interested to see who gonna do some crazy ass dive
probably
some elevated
Adam Page, probably
somebody a moonsault off. He probably do a moonsault off the goalpost.
And him and Sammy Guevara.
Yeah, something crazy like that. But I think you wanna know, I think the Elite is gonna win, but I think it's gonna like they think because they won it's gonna it's gonna make things smooth between Hangman and them, and it's just gonna make it worse. Like so yeah, I think the Elite are gonna win, but ultimately like they'll just end up falling apart regardless of a win.
Yeah, I think so. I agree. Britt Baker versus Chris Statlander.
Is Britt Baker still competing? Because I know she had
don't know because she had a knee injury, didn't she?
It looked bad.
I didn't real bad, that, but it didn't look nice. Apparently,
if she does wrestle, probably
she'll win.
Yeah, she'll win probably. But I think they'll probably get a win to Statlander, like just because of the end. Like if there is something wrong, you just never know. So you probably want to get that on Statlander, so she'll be around.
Yeah, get it fixed. Then next up, we got Nyla Rose versus Hikaru Shida.
Nyla Rose for sure.
Yeah, I think it's an easy one. Who you got winning the casino casino ladder match?
Who can I see challenging? Probably. I want to say Darby, but I feel like they don't want to keep having him like lose these big matches because remember he lost the world title match to Jericho and he already lost the month before. So like I don't think they should keep like putting him in these title matches and then having him lose. Like I think you have to protect the character like that. I want to see I want to see Ray Phoenix versus Mox.
Yeah, I think that's a good shout.
So I'm gonna go Ray Phoenix.
If the TBA is going to be someone like a Brian Cage,
that he's going to win,
Rusev or someone like that, then I think it's vital that person wins. But Ray Phoenix would probably be my shout, or maybe Luchasaurus at a push, but I don't think we're there yet with him. And none of the others really kind of, unless they're going to put the Rocket Pack on Kip Sabian, possibly. MJF with Wardlow versus Jungle Boy.
MJF for sure, because I think MJF is going to be next up to challenge Mox.
Yeah, possibly. I think Jungle Boy will put up like a good fight, and he'll make it difficult to beat him. But ultimately, MJF will win.
I think MJF was probably going to be facing Mox at Double or Nothing before the whole coronavirus stuff, because he just beat Cody. at Revolution. So I feel like that was that was
That's
gonna
where
be
they were going.
yeah, that's where they was gonna go.
The tournament final between Cody and Lance Archer for the TNT Championship.
I really can't because of the Mike Tyson thing. So like that kind of like just makes me like want like I'm pretty sure Tyson gonna knock somebody out. I just can't call it who it is. I feel like Cody's gonna win, and then MJF's probably gonna come out and try to ruin the celebration, and then Tyson gonna knock him out.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I can't see them having Lance Archer be knocked out because they don't want to. But then part of me thinks they might have Cody lose to build Lance Archer and Jake Roberts as a kind of duo, but also because it'll kind of prolong that Cody winning the big one, and then eventually when he does win a title, it'll be even bigger, particularly if they have it with fans. So I think because there's no fans there, I think Lance Archer will win. And finally, Jon Moxley versus Brody Lee.
I'm gonna say Mox. I don't think Brody like really needs the title right now, and I really don't feel like it's gonna hurt him if he lose. Like I just know I feel like he's like in a real good spot. So
I wonder whether they may put the title on Brody Lee just because he's just come in and they don't want to beat him yet. So I do wonder whether they may put the title on him.
Already?
Yeah, I just wonder whether they may do it to really kind of elevate him. But then I also don't see them going for like short runs with their title holders. Like, how long has Jon Moxley had the title?
For like 3 months.
Yeah, it's like
2 months.
If he'd had it a little bit longer, I think I'd probably think that maybe they'd put it on Brody Lee as a kind of to try and elevate him a bit to that level. But I think Mox will probably win just because he hasn't had the title for that long. And I feel like they want to cement these first few champions with like really strong reigns. They did it with Jericho, and I think they want to do it with him as well. When did he win the title?
Who? Mox?
Yeah.
At Revolution.
It was Revolution, wasn't it? It was. So what, February, yeah. And that's the card. It's going to be good. I'm looking forward to it. Some matches more than others. I'm looking forward to seeing Hangman and the Young Bucks and people we haven't really seen a lot of the last couple of weeks. That gif of Hangman running the length of the American football field is beautiful. Just you could see him in the background, just sprinting, like up the field towards where they were all kind of brawling. It's just that's going to live forever. I like that a lot. But they had a couple of injuries coming out of Wednesday though as well. With Britt Baker had a knee injury, Ray Phoenix had a rough landing, and apparently Matt Jackson had a rib injury. I think it was.
Yeah, I saw some stories on that. And I don't know if it's confirmed or not.
So yeah, hopefully they're all good to go. But I think Britt Baker. So Sportskeeda are reporting that she could be out for a very long time. She got a serious knee injury. Well, that kid came from Brian Alvarez.
Nah.
I'm just seeing that. Wrestling Observer Live. Yeah, apparently she's way. Oh, but then people annoy me. So he says she's going to be out for a long time, and then says she's waiting on an MRI. So if she hasn't had the MRI when he's said that, then you don't know how long she's going to be out for because you don't know what the freaking injury is.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like if you haven't had the scan, you don't know, do you? It could be nothing. It could just be landed funny and a bit of bruising. Oh, I don't know. People annoy me in their key. They're so eager to be the first to Oh, it looks nasty though. I just saw a clip of it. Nyla Rose lands on her knee, didn't she? Oof, nasty. So yeah, that's our quick show for this week. We're a little bit longer than what we said, but we just did a little talky talk. Andrew, tell people where they can find you on the socials.
You follow me on Twitter at AEW Thompson. And you check out my YouTube channel at Andrew Thompson Interviews. Yeah. Bad
Custom
start to the
URL,
day.
bro.
Custom URL. But yeah, we'll be back soon enough.
Yes, I'm sure we'll be back next week to talk a bit of Double or Nothing review and the news roundup, because Andrew is the newsbeat king. But you go and have a nice, relaxed evening, my friend, and just chill out, man. Because you had a podcast to chill, just to cheer you up, and now you can go and relax.
Will do.
That's what we want. Guys, check us out on facebook.com/AceCastNation. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Ace Podcast Nation, youtube.com/Ace Podcast Nation. And yes, get involved. And we'll see you next week for another episode of Keeping It Real. And check out all our other series on Ace Podcast Nation. Cheers.